morning, everybody. It's me again, Emily Sanderell, and I'm back to tell you all about the women's suffrage movement right here in Arizona. Did you know that women could vote in Arizona 8 years before the National Amendment was passed? Well, it's true. Women in Arizona won full suffrage rights in November 1912, but their path to the vote still wasn't easy. At the start of the National Women's Suffrage Movement in 1848, Arizona wasn't even a U.S. territory. It wouldn't become one until 1863. Nevertheless, this didn't stop women living in Arizona from demanding their rights. Throughout the 1880s, suffragists fought, without success, to have a women's suffrage bill passed in the Arizona Territorial Legislature. In 1891, Josephine Brawley Hughes formed the territory's first women's suffrage organization with the help of Frances Munns and Pauline O'Neill. All throughout the territory, black and white women began forming clubs, all in support of women's suffrage. In fact, one such club was formed right here in Yuma by none other than Mary Elizabeth Post, a name you might recognize from the former elementary school named after her on 4th Avenue. She was a prominent teacher in early Yuma and very active in the community itself. Even with the support of these women's organizations, however, the movement struggled to gain momentum, largely because of how far apart women within the territory lived. Josephine Hughes and Frances Munns sought to combat this slump by first teaming up with labor organizations, then reaching out to the progressive third party in the state, and, in an unusual twist, reaching out to Mormons living within the territory. Even though the national movement discouraged working with religious radicals, which Mormons were considered to be at the time because of their practice of polygamy, Hughes and Munns both saw the value of forming an alliance with Mormon women. In 1903, a bill supporting women's suffrage passed in the Arizona Territorial Legislature. But, unfortunately, it was quickly vetoed by Territorial Governor Alexander Brody, who believed such a bill would make it difficult for the territory to gain statehood. He was wrong, as even without the bill, Arizona was not granted statehood until February 1912. When Arizona was granted statehood, the state constitution did not include women's suffrage, and Frances Munns was not about to let that fact go unnoticed. As soon as Arizona officially became a state, Munns rallied the movement and collected 3,342 signatures for a women's suffrage ballot initiative, which was enough to get a vote for women's suffrage added to the state's first November ballot. In the months leading up to the November vote, women all over the state, including right here in Yuma, paraded, gave speeches, and lobbied for support for the state bill. Munns was even able to get an endorsement from President Theodore Roosevelt. In November 1912, the state bill passed, and Arizona became the 10th state to fully enfranchise women. Many women from within the Arizona movement continued to help the national women's suffrage movement in working to pass a national amendment. In February 1920, Arizona became one of 36 states needed to ratify the 19th Amendment, giving American women nationally the right to vote. I hope you enjoyed getting to know more about the women's suffrage movement and its impact right here in our state and city. Join me tomorrow to learn more about women of color and how they helped win the vote, even when they knew it might not include them just yet. Until then, check out our social media pages or the links below for resources and activities to help you keep on celebrating. Bye, everyone!